Chapter 8 Boons granted to Ganesha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shiva said, O Devi, listen to the sin-destroying legend which bestows enjoyments and liberation. By remembering it, one can attain success in one's deeds. Gajanana, the most supreme Paramatma, was pleased. He was a bestower of happiness to his profound devotees. He said to his devotees immersed in devotion, he said, O Tattvas, ask for a desired boon. I am pleased by the verses of devotion composed by you and by your devoutness. I am extremely pleased with the stotra. Anyone who recites or listens to this stotra will be blessed with all siddhis. Those who desire knowledge will get knowledge. Those who desire wealth will become wealthy. Those who desire a wife will get a wife. Those who desire a son will be blessed with a virtuous son. Those who desire liberation will attain liberation. Those who desire victory will be victorious. Anyone who reads this stotra will be blessed with fulfillment of even the rarest of desires. Shiva continued his narration and said, after that, listening to the words of Ganesha, rishis bowed their heads in devotion. They paid obeisance, and the ecstatic Adi rishis replied. They said, O Bhagwan, if you are pleased with our devotion, please bestow this major boon. O Gananayaka, grant that our devotion to you will be unwavering in our hearts. By your grace, grant us the capabilities to create. Grant that we can bestow siddhis to all our devotees. O Lord, grant that whatever we may desire in our hearts will be fulfilled. O Vignanashaka, destroyer of obstacles, grant that we will always be free of all bondages. O Mahadevi, on hearing these humble words of the primal principles, Tattvas, Ganapati, the bestower of happiness, granted boons and fulfilled their desires. Shri Gajanana said, I have granted all the major boons desired by you. Having granted boons, he disappeared in an instant. All the Devas, Tattvas, were dejected as the Paramatma Lord Ganesha had departed to Swananda Loka and looked at each other helplessly. Blessed by Ganesha's boons, they acquired unparalleled knowledge. Equipped with this newfound knowledge and wisdom, all the Mahadevas, Tattvas, commenced creation of the world. Rishis and gods, components of creation, merged and became an egg. In that egg, the most powerful Atma, primeval Purusha, the Bhagavan who loved gunas, was formed. After a considerable period, water was created from his body. The egg began to float in that water. He continued to grow inside that egg. At an appropriate time, he grew limbs, and gradually he was endowed with all body parts. The huge egg cracked under the influence of his luminosity. Adi Purusha, primeval human, emerged from it. His brilliance was comparable to innumerable suns. Infinite was his glory. He was a primeval Purusha and creator of everyone. His hands and legs were innumerable. His nose and belly were innumerable. Innumerable were his faces. His ears were everywhere. He was limitless. This Deva had infinite body parts. His magnanimity and valor were boundless. The Paramatma, Supreme Soul, conducted infinite divine plays, Leelas. He had no beginning, middle or end. He enveloped everything. He was bigger than the huge ones. One could not see the horizon behind him. He was subtler than an atom. Innumerable revolving universes, Brahmandas, could be seen in the pores of his skin, which resembled pollen in the sky. He was the effulgent form of Brahma, yet he was embodied. Within him was a consciousness of Aham or I-ness. Hence the philosophers named him Mahakarana, the great causal body. He was a foremost bearer of gunas known as Ganesha. He was the atom of all, Sarvatma, the form of all, Sarvarupa, bearing the sound body, Nadadeha, and omnipotent. Ganesha performed innumerable deeds, karmas, and hence he was known by different names. This Ishvara was initially asleep in the water that was created from his body and hence was called Narayana. Water, cosmic water, born from his human body, Nara, is Nara. He created a place for himself to rest. Hence, he is Lord or Prabhu Narayana, having water as his home. He created different worlds in sets of three: space as Swarga, Bhumi and Patala, time as past, present, and future, etc. Because of this prowess, this aspect of Ganesha became known as Brahma. Our Vedas and Upanishads describe the Brahma Loka as Anadi, without a beginning. Brahma is the most superior one. This is definite. As a form of Kala, time, he grants fruits of all efforts. Hence, he is the driver of this world. This is the reason why this aspect of the Lord is known as Mahadeva. The aspect which supports all karmas is known as Surya. Surya is the source of all energy. The aspect which enchants all things is known as Adi Shakti. In this way, Ganesha, who is recognized by different names and different qualities everywhere, is the Supreme Lord and form of Brahma. He is the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Hence, he is referred to as Mahakarana in the Puranas, prime cause. Guneshwara is the creator of the creators. He is also the annihilator of the annihilator. There is no doubt about it. He is a protector of the protector and the illuminator of the illuminator. His body is differentiated into three based on gunas. His left side is Rajoguna, his middle is Sattva and his right side is Tamoguna. Mahatma Adideva, Guneshwaram, was enveloped in delusion. So he observed austere penances. He meditated on Gajanana in his heart and commenced intense penance. He meditated for a long period. Gajanana was pleased. Gajanana was a higher aspect of him, the greatest of all, the complete supreme truth. Just as a cow runs towards her calf, the Lord of Devas, who loves his devotees, was drawn to Ganesha. He immediately blessed Ganesha. He said, "O Ganesha, the mighty armed one, I am pleased with your penance and japa," repetitive chanting of the single syllable Ekakshara mantra. Ask for a desired boon. "O Devi," said Shiva. When Ganesha asked thus, Ganesha extolled him by singing various stotras. Ganesha said, "I bow to Lord Gananatha, who is omnipotent and lives in tranquility in the heart of yogis. Your yogic prowess is limitless. You are the eternal Lord of Yoga. You are the serene Lord of Yoga. I offer my prostrations. It's impossible to describe your ayoga or distinct form. When you are not in the samadhi state, you are only in the nivritti form, completely freed from material desires. You are neither differentiated nor undifferentiated. I bow to the blissful Yogeshwara, Lord of Yoga. You are always in the state of samadhi. One cannot see your boundaries. He cannot be comprehended by the sense organs. You are powerful, swasamvedya and effulgent. You are the union of the human Atma with the divine Paramatma and can be attained by yoga. I bow to such a blissful Yogeshwara. You are not the Dehi, but the form of knowledge, yet can be visualized by people as the form of Ganaraja, who can be lauded to Ganesha, who is not entangled in epithets. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. Yogis comprehend you as a form of knowledge in their hearts, to such an unwavering one who enjoys all majesty, whose true form is undifferentiated. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You are without a beginning, middle, or end. You are without limits. You are enveloped in a sheath of Maya and is always in the form of Atma. You are the primeval Purana Purusha, Ganesha. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You are without a beginning, Anadi, but appear differentiated due to Prakriti. You cannot be comprehended by buddhi, intellect, even though you are the form of Bindu, unaffected by Maya. You are acclaimed as the creator of infatuation, moha. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You became embodied due to the gunas, yet you are limitless and unmanifest. To such a one, in the sama form, in the boundless avyakta unmanifest form, as the driver of gunas, but devoid of gunas. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You are in the sama form and are the one and only Lord of the world. Despite being in the Sushupti, deep sleep state, you have the knowledge of the world. You are covered by Maya from the beginning of time and are the bearer of moha, infatuation. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You contain the whole world, yet are the bearer of subtle, sukshma majesty in Sushupti state, that is deep sleep, while containing the Hiranyagarbha means the golden womb, which is the source of the creation of the whole universe. You impart knowledge or vijnana, wisdom to the people. To such a primordial Ganesha, to such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You are always extolled by devas, munis and their congregations. You are acclaimed as the enchanter of the world, incomprehensible and invisible, and the one who wanders in his sthula form, that is gross state. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You are the Asat, unreal, seen in the different forms. You are only in one true form. You are the forms of Ganesha and Shakti endowed with Maya, beyond the experiences of the mind and speech. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. O Ganesha, you are the form of Ravi, who is nectar, immortal and eternal, whose Atma, self, exists in the form of Abheda, undifferentiated, and Bheda, differentiated, who is absolute, who is transcendental bliss. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You are in the Sama state in the form of Vishnu, whose inherent nature is beyond comprehension. You are beyond the states of differentiated and undifferentiated, always endowed with happiness and bliss. To such a Ganesha, to such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. Your form is unfathomable, distinct from all those with a name and form. You are the primal Sadashiva, devoid of moha, infatuations, who exists in innumerable forms, in a state of divine bliss. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. Many minute, varied differences appeared when you assumed the form of objects. Despite being endowed with vikara, transformations, you are incomprehensible to the organs, that's the indriyas. You are the essence of knowledge, yet symbolized by the epithet of Tvam. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. You are absolute one, despite existing as undivided, devoid of transformations, and yet completely incomprehensible. You are enclosed in the hearts and are the essence of knowledge. You are represented by the epithet of Tat. To such a blissful Yogeshwara, I bow to you. O Ganesha, your Amsha, small part of the divine incarnations, are in different forms and yet magnificent. From amongst them, how can one recognize your blissful state? It cannot be comprehended by the mind. When I address you as Sarvatma, omnipresent, I am surrendering to the form of Prakriti, differentiated as the Lord of the world, Jagadisha, and form of Gakara, syllable Ga. I am surrendering to your form of Gakara. You are unfathomable by the mind and inexpressible by speech. I surrender to you, the most supreme one, the primeval one in the Nivritti state, in the Ayoga, distinct, and Sanyoga, union forms. O Dundi, I cannot talk about you, nor can I refrain from talking about you. Hence, I only bow to you. O Vignesha, O Ganesha, O Mighty One, Lord of the Brahmas, Brahmanaspati, Lord of the universe, please be pleased. O Ganapati, my birth, my eyes, my knowledge and wisdom have been blessed. I have been blessed by the immense rewards of my penance as I was able to get the darshana of Ganadisha. I am filled with gratitude. O Parameshwara, if you wish to grant me a boon, grant me steadfast devotion by which my delusions will be destroyed. Grant me the capabilities to create the world. Grant me powers so that I can grant the wishes of those who worship me. O Vigna Vinashana, destroyer of obstacles, grant that I may perform my deeds without any obstacles. Hearing these words of Ganesha, Gajanana became extremely pleased, and Ganesha, in a loud, reverberating voice, said, I grant that your intense devotion will be steadfast. The work of creation of the varied world will be accomplished by you. You will not face any obstacles. O pure Purusha, you will be endowed with generosity. I will grant my darshana during this great work. The stotra composed by you will be acknowledged by all. The reader and the listener will ascend to the position of Brahma. This stotra, which is in the form of praise of the Lord of Brahmas, that is Brahmanaspati, is the essence of all stotras. O illustrious one, this stotra is extremely powerful and a means to attain all siddhis. For the Sakama devotees motivated by selfish wishes, this wish-fulfilling stotra will grant all desires. For the Nishkama devotees, selfless devotion, this stotra will bestow liberation, mukti. The essence in the stotra is my favorite among all stotras. I will always manifest for those who recite my stotra Trikala, thrice a day. There is no doubt about it. Shiva tells Parvati, having pronounced these boons, Ganesha, the one who loves his devotees, disappeared. Separated from his deva, Ganesha became sad. Thus ends the 8th chapter titled Boons Granted to Ganesha in the first khanda of the Purana Upanishad, Srimad Mudgal Puran, describing the legends of Vakratunda, dedicated to Sri Gajanana. End of chapter 8.